Hey everyone, Chang here and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the most underrepresented population in the entire world. Yes, I am talking about all the wonderful aunt named Sally out there. Thank you, Aunt Sally! I don't actually have an aunt named Sally, but if you do, please thank her for me. So today we're going to be talking about PEMDAS, otherwise known as the Order of Operations. So let's start with a simple problem. 14 divided by 7 times 2. Take a few seconds. If you feel like you got the answer, please put in the comment section and why you think your answer is the correct answer. Got it? Good. So the common answer for that question is actually 4 and 1. I'm not going to tell you the answer just yet. So what the heck is PEMDAS and what does it got to do with my Aunt Sally? Well, PEMDAS stands for parentheses, exponent, multiplication and division, addition and subtraction. And a common way for students to remember PEMDAS is actually, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Now for me personally, I prefer something a little more fun. Please earn more dollars already, silly. Disclaimer, what I just said should not be used in any way, shape, or form to question anyone regarding their earning potential. PEMDAS is a step-by-step guideline that makes sure every time we solve a problem, there will not be misunderstandings. Well, you see, PEMDAS exists because of a little secret that a lot of people who work with math don't want you to know. The secret is that we are lazy, extremely lazy, unbelievably lazy. We are the type of people who would tear apart an entire room just to look for a TV remote because we are too darn lazy to change the channel. If we just took time to put the parentheses in the correct space every time we are writing a problem, there would not be a need for PEMDAS. And since we didn't, well, hence PEMDAS. Now there are two common mistakes that I see a lot of people do when they're working with PEMDAS. The first mistake that I see a lot of people do when working with PEMDAS is that when they look at a problem, they remember PEMDAS as a step-by-step guide. So they see a component of PEMDAS in the problem and they don't know what to do. Even if it's impossible to solve that specific component at that moment, they're stuck there. They believe that if they don't solve that specific component, they can't move on to the next step. And that's simply not the case. Let's look at this problem. Notice that x plus 4 is in a parentheses. For those of you guys who are confused about x, well, x is just a variable. It represents a number that we aren't sure of just yet. So combining x plus 4 is really impossible at this point, right? But x plus 4 is in a parentheses, and so if we were to follow PEMDAS, that's the first thing we have to work with. Now, a lot of people get stuck here. They believe that since they didn't do anything to x plus 4, they haven't completed the parentheses part of PEMDAS, and so they can't move forward. Well, that's not the case. Since we hit a section where it's impossible, the next thing that we actually need to do if we're trying to follow PEMDAS is just jump to the next step. Are there exponents in the problem? No, so we can just skip that step. Are there multiplication in that problem? Yes, that's the next logical step. So we should work through multiplication and then see if there is division, addition, and subtraction and finish out the rest of the problem. The second common mistake when working with PEMDAS is that when we work with PEMDAS, we might accidentally follow it way too strictly. What do I mean by that? Well, we see what PEMDAS is. PEMDAS, right? Parentheses, exponent, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. It's a step-by-step guideline, so I should be following every single step. Now, that's not the case either. What is really happening is this. We should try to solve all the parentheses if possible, all the exponent if possible, but actually, multiplication and division are on the same level. There's no real order between the two. Addition and subtraction are on the same level. There's no real order between the two. What do I mean by that? What I mean is Since multiplication and division are on the same level, when you see them side by side, it doesn't matter who comes first. Just solve it left to right. Same with addition. It doesn't matter who comes first, right? Solve it left to right. Let's look at this problem. We have 16 minus 8 plus 2. Now, if we follow PEMDAS strictly, we would go through these steps. First, we would add 8 and 2 together because, PEMDAS, right? A comes before S. That means addition must come before subtraction. So 8 plus 2 equals 10. Then the next step is that we still have the original 16. Now we're going to subtract 10, which gives us 6 because, what's left? It's the subtraction. That was the last step. So when we do 16 minus 10, we get 6. But no, that's not how we carry out PEMDAS. Remember, multiplication and division are on the same level, so left to right. In this case, addition and subtraction are on the same level, so you carry out left to right. This is how we should approach the problem. Once again, we have 16 minus 8 plus 2, right? Since addition and subtraction are on the same level, we just solve this problem left to right. So we have 16 minus 8. That's the first thing we do. That's all the way on the left. So 16 minus 8 is 8. That's what we have left. So we have 8 plus the original 2 now, and that equals 10. So our final answer is 10, not 6. Now let's go back to the problem in the beginning of the video. What do you think the answer is? Not too bad, not too complicated. Pretty simple. Kindergarten stuff, right? Well, let's try to practice with these 3 problems. Ready?
1.
Just a keynote, I will have the answers in the description for those of you guys who are curious and want to check your answers.
3.
Well, thank you for sticking with me all the way into the end of the video right here. Let's just summarize what we went over. First is that PEMDAS is a step-by-step guideline to help us solve problems and ensure that there's no misunderstanding. This came from the idea that because we are too lazy to put parentheses in the correct spot, so we decide to memorize an order of solving problems instead. So remember that PEMDAS stands for parentheses, exponent. Multiplication and division are on the same level. So if they're right next to each other, you're going to solve it from left to right. Addition and subtraction are again on the same level. So if they are next to each other, you're going to solve it from left to right. Now remember, when we are working with PEMDAS, even though we're going step by step, it's only if it is possible. If it's not possible, we skip it, right? From our previous example, even though there was a parentheses with numbers and variables in there, there was not much we can do. So we ignored the parentheses and then we jumped to the next one, right? There was no exponent, so we jumped again, and there was multiplication, and then we started from there. If you have any math topics or video idea that you would like to see in the next video, leave them in the comments section. I will look it over and I will definitely take them into consideration. Now lastly, please like, comment, and subscribe to show your appreciation to all the Aunt Sallies out there in the world. I will try to post at least one video every week. Oh, and Aunt Sally, thank you.